What's up guys, I'm Wagner and today I'm taking you around to show you guys 6 of Chicago's most iconic foods. Now Chicago has more than 6 iconic foods, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this series up into a 3-part video series, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss the next 2 episodes. And as a fun little bonus for today's episode, we are going to end on what I consider to be the food that Chicago makes better than anyone on the planet. And real quick before we get to the food, I want to tell you guys the sponsor of today's video is you guys. I totaled up all the food for today and it's gonna cost me $93.51 to make today's video. And if you look at the names on screen, between these 8 people using Venmo, PayPal, and Super Thanks, I got a total of $95 in donations, essentially covering the cost of this video. So I just wanna take a quick second to say thank you to everybody who donates to these videos. It literally is like sponsoring these videos and making them possible. I appreciate it so much. So shout out to Derek Pedro for a $5 Super Thanks donation. And then Derek Pedro with another $5 Super Thanks donation. Larry Gonzalez with a $10 Super Thanks donation. Jeff Schwartz with a $5 Super Thanks donation. Jeff Schwartz with another $5 Super Thanks donation. And then Derek Pedro with another $5 Super Thanks donation. And then Darren Scaro with a $10 PayPal. And then Quentin Nelson with a $50 PayPal. Thank you guys so much. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to do videos like this if it wasn't for you guys. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. And I have a handful more people to shout out. So if you donated to the channel and you didn't hear your name, that's because I'm saving your guys' shout out to sponsor the next videos. I kind of like doing something a little more specific for the people that donate to the channel. So your guys' donation shout outs are coming. But anyways, enough chat. Let's get to the feasting, eh? And we're off on our food adventure, our day of feasting. And there's not many better cities in the US when it comes to food than Chicago. From cheap immigrant-influenced delicacies to fine dining that's frankly out of my tax bracket, Chicago's got the whole spectrum covered. So the real question is, where do you start in a city this loaded with iconic food? Now, Northsiders and frat boys with your backwards Cubs hats and Lincoln Park blonde brunchers, try not to break into a sweat, but we're heading south of Roosevelt and we're doing nothing but going deeper south for our first 3 spots of the day. And I guess now is as good a time as any to address the fearmongers of the world. No, I'm not wearing a bulletproof vest. No, I'm not afraid to go to the south side and enjoy some amazing food. And no, I don't think you should be either. Maybe it's because of the neighborhood I grew up in, but I think if you've got a good head on your shoulders, are aware of your surroundings, and don't walk around looking like a victim, then you're gonna be alright. Are there rough areas in Chicago? Yeah, of course. We redlined a group of people, didn't give them any economic opportunities, and made sure the city's tax money funneled to the schools where the wealthy folks live. That doesn't mean the entire city is scary, or even the south side. So do yourself a favor, step out of your comfort zone in your north side condo, and check out some of the food south of the Loop, because their flavors are elite and their history is amazing. And just for the record, I know we're not even going that far south today. Don't worry, this is only volume 1 of 3. Now with that being said, let's head to the aforementioned and legendary Jim's Original and get ourselves one of God's great culinary gifts to earth, the Maxwell Street Polish. All right, we're at the first spot of the day. Jim's Original, the originator of the Maxwell Street Polish. One of my favorite things in Chicago. Excited to show you guys this delicious treat and tell you all about the history of it. Let's check it out. Also, if you guys didn't know, friends with Jeff Morrow. We got a little Jeff Morrow sighting up there. Sandwich King, love that guy. Good dude. All right, anyways, back to the food.
I gotta keep on talking while I got you on the line.
And here we are. This Chicago classic spot is located at 1250 South Union Avenue and was originally opened by Jim Picard sometime in the 1930s. But it wasn't until the Macedonian immigrant Jimmy Stefanovich married into the family and took over the hot dog stand in 1939 that the Maxwell Street Polish was added to the menu. This no-frills hot dog stand specializes in taste and speed. Fast because the blue-collar workers who come to these spots don't have long lunch breaks, and tasty because, hell, that's what you have to do if you want to survive in this business for over 85 years. There's a lot they do well here, but we're getting the item that made them famous, the Maxwell Street Polish. Polish sausage, grilled onions, yellow mustard, and sport peppers all loaded onto a bun, and my God, do these flavors work together in a way that makes my taste buds dance. But let's not just sit here and talk about it. I think it's about time we take a bite and eat this thing. I mean, guys, just look at this thing. We gotta get into this. We gotta take a bite. So the Maxwell Street Polish, obviously amazing and delicious. Number one move, you gotta put the hot peppers on there, I think at least. I like to bust an end off and just kind of stick it in there. Yeah, let's take a bite of this. Enough talking, huh? Guys, this is simplicity at its finest. This is Chicago at its finest. I'm sorry, I gotta get another bite, hold on. Wow, the hot pepper is hot. Man, it's so simple. Delicious sausage, grilled onions, mustard, and a bun. This is what like street food should be about. And I gotta tell you guys, the price on this, $6.18. $6.18. And it's a beefy boy and comes with, honestly, fantastic fries. They've got that coating, that like the extra crispy fry coating. Honestly, this is my favorite style of fry. And then on top of that, all the history with this place. This place has been around for, I mean, the sign says 85 years. 1939, I think it started. So this must be its 86th year, which is crazy. And then there's a history of this being started at the Maxwell Street Market, which, if you don't know, used to be like the big bustling part of town where people would come and get food. From a musical, historical perspective, Maxwell Street had a huge part in the blues. People like Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley, Howlin' Wolf, all kind of got their start playing the corners at the Maxwell Street Market. So to have this place, this isn't the original location of the market. The original place had to move when they expanded the UIC campus. But yeah, this is a legendary spot where a lot of legendary things were born, including the Maxwell Street Polish, which to me, and I've talked about this, if you guys don't know, I'm part of a couple other food review channels. Like, this channel's not so specific to food, but on my other food review channels, Eat Local and Number 6 with Cheese, with my partner Sean, we've talked many times about the fact that the Chicago dog, albeit iconic, I think should be overtaken by the Maxwell Street Polish as the encased meat of choice. This to me is just like such a blue collar food, and I think that's a better representation of Chicago, especially hot peppers and grilled onions over a tomato slice and celery salt. Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel Chicago to me. This does. All right, I gotta get one more bite. You have no idea the flavors. Legendary spot. All right, we gotta head to our next spot, less than a 10-minute drive away. It's only a mile and a half. It's another absolutely legendary spot. We're heading to Ricobene's. Let's cruise. Now for a quick jaunt south past Chinatown and into Bridgeport to 26th Street, on our way to what was not long ago called the greatest sandwich in the world. That's right, we're headed to Ricobene's. God, it's always something with you. My heart, your heart, where does it end, baby, where does it start? My heart, your heart, where does it end, baby, where does it start? Alright guys, second spot, absolutely legendary, Ricobene's. The breaded steak sandwich, excited to show it to you, let's kick on in there. You could choose me, I'm alive and sleeping at the movies. You're a throwback, like the Amtrak anywhere I'm at, I know the trains are running. Just look at this place. From the old school neon sign to the history you can see through the pictures hanging on these walls, everything about this place feels like it has a long and interesting story to tell. Opening in 1946 by Rosario and Antonio, who went from selling fruits and vegetables out of a cart to meatball and sausage sandwiches out of a cart to opening one of the most beloved restaurants in Chicago. But it wasn't until 30 years later in 1976 when the second generation of Ricobene's owners, Sam, Frank, and Russell, brought the breaded steak sandwich onto the menu and made this place famous. Take some skirt steak can beat the hell out of it until it's nice and flat. Bread it, fry it, add their amazing red sauce, melt some mozzarella on it, and throw it on a French roll. And there you have it. The sandwich that in 2015 USA Today called the best sandwich on earth. The coveted Chicago classic, the breaded steak sandwich. Oh my God, guys. All right, we're doing this one outside the car just because I love that they're under an overpass. I love that. Ricobene steak sandwich. I gotta get into these bites, guys. I mean, just look at this thing. Oh my God. Just as good, if not better than I remember. I like little heat, so I get giardiniera on mine, and I get mozzarella cheese. It's $13.99 for this big behemoth. I mean, especially since it's such a legendary spot. Literally, USA Today called it the best sandwich in the country at one point. I mean, I'm obsessed. That beaten down steak, breaded, covered in their sauce, it just is phenomenal. All right, I gotta set this down, wipe my hands off so I can get a drink real quick. Hold on. This is another place that just has so much history. I love the concept of a family starting off with a vegetable cart, moving to like a meat cart, just pushing around a cart, selling food, eventually opening a brick and mortar up, and then having the next generation come in and introduce an unbelievably famous sandwich. Ricobene's, I'm obsessed. And fun fact, I don't talk about this enough on the show actually. One second. This right here, so this is one of our hot sauces. We have 3 different flavors. This is for my other channel, Number 6 with Cheese and Eat Local, or my other channels I should say. One of the Ricobene's, I think the grandson maybe, he's bought our Sixer sauce. So, I mean, come on, the Ricobene's family knows about the channel. I love that. Should have put this on it, honestly. If you're looking for hot sauce, number6withcheese.com, best stuff on the planet. All right, we gotta get one more bite in. Hold on. All right. And this is the type of place, just FYI, eat this right away. Don't try to take this home. It's kind of like an Italian beef. But anyways, I'm gonna keep scarping on this. 4 more spots to go, which one of my all-time favorites, Vito and Nick's, guys. The true pizza of Chicago. Let's cruise.
Never asked for my opinion, but I'd say that horse is crazy.
And now to the farthest place I'll drive to regularly for food, Vito and Nick's. This place is 45 minutes from my front door on a good day, and I promise you it's worth every minute of that drive. This being the last of my Southside spots for this video, I can't help but to be pissed off that I have a limited stomach space. I wish I could make this video 14 items long, but I'm no Kobayashi or Joey Chestnut, or even a Darren Breeden for the Darren Eats fans out there. I'm looking at you, Octo Pride Sunday crew. But the reality is, I'll have to wait for the next couple episodes before I can get myself some Harold's Chicken or the Jim Shoe at Stony Subs, or one of those delicious bone-in pork chop sandwiches. But I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We've still got 4 more items in this video, and more importantly, we've got one of my favorite pizzas on the planet to get to now.
There was a reason why I came here, but I guess now it doesn't matter. I had a good.
All right, guys, the next legendary spot. You can see it on the neon, Vito and Nick's. This is maybe my favorite pizza in the entire city. I'm pretty obsessed with it, and the history behind this place is amazing. Let's cruise on in. I totally forgot that they're cash only at Vito and Nick's. So there's a liquor store they said is the closest ATM to them. GJ's right there. So I'm just gonna pop over, grab some cash, and get this sweet, delicious pizza, huh? All right, let's go.
There is a certain kind of feeling that you get when you're totally helpless. And there's a different world waiting for me when I lift my head up from your thick, dark hair. I heard the
Vito and Nick's. I don't know how to explain it, but Vito and Nick's seems like it's right out of my hometown of Toledo. I mean, just look at this place. Half restaurant, half bar. Yep. That'd fit right in where I'm from. And it makes perfect sense once you find out that the story of this place goes back to a tavern opening in 1923 by Vito and his wife Mary on Congress and Polk. That eventually turned into a spot on 79th and Carpenter in 1939 with 8 restaurant tables and a lot of Mary's cooking, but still, mainly a bar. But it wasn't until 1946, after their son Nick joined the business, that they started slinging what has now become a legendary pizza. They eventually moved to their current location of 84th and Pulaski in 1965, and that's exactly where they've stayed for the past 80 years. And just look at this beautiful pizza. It's my favorite tavern style, and I honestly don't even think it's close. Although that novel pizza place was pretty good. But we're not here to talk about the second best pizza, and I'm ready to eat. Alright, I know we've been doing these mainly in the car, but I just ran into Rose, who I love. She's so cute. She's been working here almost like 77, 78 years. Working here 78 years or something crazy like that, 77. Anyways, hold on one sec. I gotta grab my book bag. I want to not interrupt the general business. That's why I usually have been trying to do these in the car. But since I saw Rose, she's the owner, by the way. I saw Rose and she said, "You gonna sit down?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't care if you got the camera." Well, I'll tell you guys more about it inside, but they're coming up on their 105th anniversary, so I'm gonna be here to celebrate that. I'm sure me and Sean will do a video for our Eat Local page for that one, but we're gonna do this one indoors because Rose is the best and she said it's cool. But anyways, let's pop in and get this pizza. All right, I had to get a beer. Halfway through the day, time to fuel with some brewski. It's crazy, they've been with Old Style since 1920. And funny enough, that's the connection that I have with Vito and Nick's. I got to meet Rose, the current owner, through their Old Style rep, who I've talked about on this channel, Spina. He now owns System Seltzers, which makes Riot Pop. If you guys saw the Riot Fest video last year, I talked about it. But let's get into this pizza. Look at this. That's the perfect pizza. I always get the sausage here. It's the move. It's perfect, guys. Perfect crust, perfect sauce, perfect sausage. And for me, it's the seasonings they put on top make it perfect. And again, this is just like, everything about this feels like a hometown spot to me. I don't know if it's because where I grew up in Toledo was right by the Jeep plant. The neighborhood it's in, Ashburn, was like a pretty industrial spot. So I don't know if it's just that general vibe or like the blue collar sense of having some of the world's best pizza in a place that's also like massively a bar. Like, I mean, look at the size of the bar over there. It's big. And just getting to know Rose over the years, it warms my heart that Rose will see me and come up and give me a hug. The first time I met her, we got to go upstairs. It's just filled with photo albums, and she showed me was like all these family pictures that are black and white. I just love that stuff. I mean, that's what I do with my family when I go home, is just look through photo albums and reminisce. So having Rose do that and take me around to show me her spot is just like, it's awesome. I mean, she's a Chicago legend. And if you watch the other channels, I constantly say this is the only tavern style to me. All the other ones are so basic. Other than, was it Novel Pizza we just had that was pretty good, but Vito and Nick's is just, it's the best. Cooked to perfection.
There's gotta be something to it though. Like Pepco has no.
Hello.
Are you enjoying your pie?
I'm always enjoying my Vito and Nick's.
What are you going to do today?
Today, I went to Ricobene's. I'm going to Al's Beef.
Let me ask you this question. Have you ever tried our roast beef?
Never. Is it amazing?
We do our own trimming.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, make my shoe. It takes 3 days.
Drinking
Eat
some
your
beers.
pie. I'll be right back.
Okay. That's Rose. She's the best. I love her. And I kind of dig, by the way, getting back to the pizza, I dig that you can get little small slices. You know, I got to conserve some space today. It's nice to have these little tiny guys. I'm going to tell you guys now, June 25th, 105 years, this place will be open. They're having like a party. I think it's going to be mainly out in the parking lot. Apparently, Dave Portnoy is going to come through and some of the Barstool guys, potentially some of the folks from the Bear. It's going to be fun. I got it locked off on the calendar. Got to come and hang out for that. And you know Rose knows how to throw a party. But the beer's going to be flowing. I'm sure of that. Oh, is this a piece, some slices of it? Oh my gosh.
No. This my beef.
Oh my gosh. This looks so good. That is so good.
Nobody realizes they come in for pizza.
I would never guess. Oh, that's flavorful.
Like that?
I feel like I could just drink the juices. It's so good.
It takes 3 days.
That is crazy.
Try yours, you. Just take a sip of it.
Oh yeah. That's so good. That's more flavorful than any of the other ones I've ever had. That's really good. I forget that that's there. That's so funny to me. The carpet on the walls, I love it.
No, they say if you rub it, the gold carpet, you have good luck.
Oh, is that right?
That's exactly what he was doing.
Oh, that is hilarious. I love it.
Finish.
All right. I'll get back
At least
to
you got to taste my beef.
I know, I'm excited now. I got to come back and get the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, Rose. Also, she mentioned, you guys probably, I don't know if you can tell, we've got carpeting on the wall. Also makes me feel like a very Toledo thing. And she said you can rub it for good luck. She saw some people over on the corner who are doing just that. And she just brought over, I don't know if you guys saw me, they have a really, really good Italian beef. I mean, that might be the most flavorful beef I've had, which is funny, we're going to Al's Beef next, but phenomenal. All right, I gotta save space for these next few spots. Like I said, we're heading to Al's Beef now, the original spot. But yeah, we're gonna get a to-go box for this. Still got plenty of leftovers. Let's cruise to the next spot, guys.
The music, get out of the house, sucking that air, you can't let it out.
And now let's work our way back to the north side of Chicago, but not before we hit one of Chicago's most legendary sandwiches. We're headed to Little Italy, and we're going to the original Al's Beef.
Hey, what do you say? What do you say? Sick of sitting in the nosebleeds, tired of serving asshole townies, looking for the angel in the cloud, and the heat gets too hot, blowing money on a scratcher, can't climb invisible ladder.
All right, guys, one of the most legendary spots in the city, Al's Beef, just an absolute delicacy. Let's get into it. The place where it all started. Well, kind of. The story actually goes back to about 1918 when Al's dad, Anthony Ferrari, was selling sandwiches off the back of a truck at construction sites. At some point, Anthony went to a peanut wedding where they were serving beef roast sandwiches, and he thought to himself that if he could then slice up beef roast, cook it in its own juices with some spices, then he might have a new sandwich on his hands. And in doing so, he created a Chicago delicacy. For years, he was selling them out of his truck and home until eventually his kid, Al, after a stint in jail, pitched to some new friends the idea of opening a bookie joint with his dad slinging beef sandwiches as the front. Well, turns out the sandwiches were so damn good they bought out the bookies, turned the genius wet treat into a legacy that's now permeated into popular culture, with the bear being loosely based around another famous Chicago Italian beef joint, Mr. Beef's. And of course, Al's Beef caught on fire. It's about as fast as you can get a sandwich and as delicious as they come. Tender, thin sliced beef cooked in delicious meat juice, topped with the greatest invention in Chicago history, Giardinera. This is the closest a sandwich has been to defining a city since the Philly cheesesteak. There's just something so Chicago about this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Italian Beef. I mean, come on, guys. Look at that. How do you not love an Italian beef? All right. One of the rare sandwiches that I enjoy with a little bit of, when it's a little soaked. Let's take a bite. Man, the heat from the jar, it's just so flavorful. My God. And that is some spicy giardiniera. This right here, Chicago delicacy. And again, it's just like, I love blue collar food. It's like simple, cheap, but delicious. Like this is only, let's see, it's only $9.75 for that sandwich. It's not bad at all. I gotta get another bite in. And all the juices from the meat just kind of like soak so perfectly into the bread. That is something, guys. And there's something I love about just any restaurant that starts from illegal activities, like to have that turn into Chicago's legendary sandwich, the Italian beef. It's just amazing. I mean, God, and just look how filled that is. This is a beefy boy. The way that bread tastes once it gets that moisture in there, man. It's like when you dip bread in soup and it gets better with sogginess. It's the only soggy sandwich I enjoy, and boy, is a good one. Also a great neighborhood. There's just a lot of really cool like little shops and restaurants and joints and bars around here. My buddy works at a tattoo joint like right down the street. But this is just one of those sandwiches that the moment that you taste it, you can kind of get what it's all about. And you guys can see I don't get it with the full dipped. I respect people who do. There are times where I have, and I do enjoy it. I just kind of, with doing this video and having to mess around with the camera, this made things a lot easier. And real gangster move if you're here is head right across the street to Mario's Italian Lemonade for delicious lemonade after this. That's another legendary spot, to be quite honest with you. But I'm gonna save my stomach space for more food. We got 2 more spots. Next, we're gonna get a Chicago dog at Wiener Circle. A friend of mine owns that spot. Legendary place. And after that, final spot, I'm sure you guys are curious what I consider to be one of Chicago's newcomer to the iconic food scene. I think Chicago is like becoming the capital of this particular food item. I think it should be talked about more, the Chicago food scene. I think it's the best city in the world for this particular food. We're gonna end on that note here in a couple places, but next up, the Chicago dog at world famous Wiener Circle. Let's cruise around.
Somewhere past the forest trees, far beyond a shallow breeze, somewhere. Up and through the iron gate, I know where for me she waits, somewhere.
And now we're heading north up Chicago's famous Lakeshore Drive to Lincoln Park, a somewhat ritzy neighborhood, but we're headed to an incredibly unritzy place, a hot dog stand. We're headed to the Wiener Circle.
Burning sage and light and coal, how far's too far when you're trying to go somewhere. The fruit's gonna fall when it's wrapped to the soul. Down on my knees, I'm watching it roll somewhere.
All right, next spot, guys, Wiener Circle. Awesome spot. God, just full of legends today. All right, let's go snag it. Talk about a legendary place. There's a reason Conan's done remotes here and Marshmallow's done a DJ set on the roof. I actually vlogged that one. I've been lucky enough to have the inside scoop on this spot. I've been friends with Larry Gold, one of the original owners, for about 10 years now. He actually came to me and Kylie's wedding. With being friends with Larry, I've been able to hear all types of fun stories. How Larry and Barry and Vicky, the original owners of the Wiener Circle, first met, and how they loved to gamble on horses and even owned one together. Thus the name Wiener Circle being a play on Winter Circle. I've gotten to hear the story of how their shtick of yelling at customers started when Larry, who worked the night shift, got annoyed by a drunken customer and called them an asshole, which entertained the hell out of everyone waiting for their food, and, well, the rest is history. I don't usually get a Chicago dog. I grew up with a couple of famous Coney spots in my hometown and pretty partial to those. But this video is about Chicago classics, so I had to get one, and if I am getting one, I'm coming here. And that's mainly because of that delicious cheddar they'll throw on these. Alright guys, the wildest iconic food of Chicago in my opinion. The Chicago dog, I mean to some extent. I don't fully get it if I'm being honest. Like I said earlier, I'm taking the Maxwell Street Polish all day over this, but I mean it's a thing. Tomato, pickles, sport peppers, relish, mustard, your red hot, the poppy seed bun, it's a whole thing. Let's give it a bite. I mean look at that, it is beautiful. I mean, there's no denying it's good. I truly think the sport pepper is what really brings it all together. Let me get another bite of this bad boy. I don't know how it works, but it does. It's like the Draymond Green of food. I don't get it, but it seems to make teams better. Oh yeah, I got mine with the cheddar sauce too. I like cheddar dogs. Which, speaking of, another iconic thing that Chicago has is Merck's cheddar. Now, it's this like delicious, amazing, incredible cheese. I get their cheddar burgers with this. Merck's cheddar is like kind of it's like the Kleenex brand, like everyone calls it Kleenex, but really it's facial tissues. They use another brand at the Wiener Circle from like a specific Wisconsin dairy farm that has an even higher fat content than Merck's cheddar. If you've ever had Merck's cheddar, it's some of the fattiest, most American cheese you can imagine. It's amazing. I'm obsessed with it. I only know it from the Chicago scene. I haven't had it outside of that, so I don't know if it's specific to here, but you gotta get a Merck's burger. I prefer them on burgers. Merck's cheddar burgers are unbelievable. But great on their dogs as well. But the Chicago dog, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like it. It's fun to try every now and again. It's not like on my regular list. If you have the choice between that and the Maxwell Street Polish, I'm going Maxwell Street Polish all day. They're fun. They're good to get. They are more refreshing than your regular dogs. At least there's some sort of vegetables on there so you don't feel like such an American fat pig like I generally do 90% of my life. And Wiener Circle's a great spot to go to. It's just like a late night move. Them hiring people to yell at you, because Larry used to yell at people when he was working there. I think it's hilarious. I think it's fantastic. It's in a great neighborhood. That whole Clark Street strip is just one of the more vibrant, energetic, fun areas in the city. It's one of my favorite strips in the city. I mean, there's a reason that Marshmello did a DJ set on top of the Wiener Circle. It's a legendary place. If you guys haven't seen that, I actually vlogged that day. Yeah, they've had all kinds of famous people come through there. But anyways, we've been feasting all day. We've got one last spot. I mentioned it in the intro. There is a food in Chicago that I consider to be maybe Chicago's greatest accomplishment. It's newer to the game, but I mean, it's kind of America's food. And I truly think Chicago is doing it better than any city on the planet. Chicago is a burger city. I know the Italian beefs, I know the deep dish pizza, I know all this stuff, but they do burgers on another level. There's probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 top tier elite burger joints in the city. I've been hearing New Yorkers say that their favorite burger is Au Cheval, which Au Cheval is actually a Chicago spot that expanded to New York. So you're welcome, New Yorkers. Your favorite hamburger is actually ours. And that's not even my favorite. There's so many great ones. And particularly, although Chicago does the entire spectrum of burgers in just an incredible way. Smash burgers, which are kind of, I wouldn't call it a fad, but they're hot right now. People love smash burgers. Every place says they do a smash burger. Most of them don't. They just have thin burgers. They're not actually smashed. We're gonna go get a legit smash burger, one of the first ones in the city, from a guy who's from where they arguably invented smash burgers. Yeah, let's cruise just up north a little ways to the region and feast on a delicacy. Smash burgers, here we go.
But you would seem a little like a pearl inside an oyster. Your cell phone list was light that dissipates into the moisture. Passerbys will look you by and see what I had figured.
And now we're headed to a Chicago food that not enough people outside the city talk about. Most people know Chicago for their deep dish pizza, which, don't worry, we'll be covering that in volume 2. Or maybe people think of the Chicago dog or the Italian beef, but what people don't talk about, but I know for a fact after reviewing food in this city for almost a decade, is that Chicago is a burger city. Just off the top of my head, I can think of an easy 10 to 15 burgers in this city that are elite, a few of which have made national headlines like Au Cheval or The Loyalist. But we're heading to a spot that's unique, delicious, and smashed in a heavenly way. We're heading to the region. Alright guys, last spot of the day, the region. This place is unbelievable. Maybe not as legendary as the others, but it should be. Excited to show you the food. Named for the area of northwest Indiana so close to Chicago that they share the same time zone even though the rest of Indiana doesn't. It's also where some argue the smash burger was invented. And one place in that area that's been doing smash burgers for years, Shoop's, is where the region's owner, Curtis Runn, worked in high school and college, where he fell in love with this amazing style of burger. Although I feel like smash burgers are all the rage right now, especially in Chicago, when Curtis opened up the region in 2017, part of his reasoning was because he couldn't find anyone in the city making these delicious flat and crispy edge delicacies. A simple burger with just grilled onions and pickles plus a special and unique region sauce, this burger is exactly what it should be. Simple and delicious. There's a reason that in 2018, Chicago Magazine called this the best burger in Chicago. Now let's get into it. Okay guys, the region, they do it right. Wait till I pick this thing up. The absolute monstrous size. Look at all of this burger is just hanging out. This is how a smash burger is supposed to look. Do you guys see these edges? That is smash burger edges. Every place that tells you they're making a smash burger and it's just because it's 4-ounce patties, they're wrong. This is it. It's the crispy edges. I mean, as Sean calls it, appetizer bite for days. I gotta get into this. Guys, unbelievable. I didn't even have any bun. No bun. I'm telling you. Oh, it's got some good salt to it too. Oh my God, guys. I think it's just been a while since I've had the region. I forgot. I didn't forget. I knew it's unbelievable, but that is ridiculous. I mean, I'm at a loss for words, guys. Really cool. I just met the owner in there, Curtis, who has seen some of the number 6 with cheese and eat local videos. He's like, hey, are you from that, the number 6 with cheese crew? Like, yep, sure am. He's like, oh man, you guys have been good to me over the years, man. I appreciate that. And we have, because this is legitimately one of, when I say one of the best burgers in Chicago, I think any day of the week, there's like probably close to 15 spots that they're just what I call elite. And any day, one could be making the best. There's just elite burgers in Chicago. And this is one of them. And the story, finding out Curtis is from like that northwest area of Indiana called the Region, because it's so close to Chicago. And it's supposedly, some people say that's where the smash burger was invented. And he worked at one of the legendary smash burger spots in high school and in college. Couldn't find him in Chicago, brought him here. Now you can't throw a freaking rock in Chicago without hitting a smash burger place. Some of them making real smash burgers. Other ones just take 4-ounce patties and call them smash burgers. No actual lacy edges. Lacy edges is the term they use for these types of crisped up edges. You gotta have the lacy edges. Yeah, but there's God, probably think of 6 or 7 off the top of my head spots that have actual smash burger lacy edges in Chicago. It's like really become a thing here. There's a reason why. I mean, it's amazing. And this also has a special sauce created by Curtis. So we got onions, it looks like relish, maybe just like finely diced pickles, cheese, and then his special sauce, this pink sauce, which I need to get a good bite. That's like really I barely got into the bun so far, just burger bites. Man, that is good. And just like looking at his menu, he does it right. This is 17 bucks. It's also 2 meals. It's free. You see the size of it. I wanted to get it to showcase to you guys the best possible, most monstrous burger available. But those are 7-ounce patties, 2 7-ounce patties. Generally for smash burgers, I feel like you use 4-ounce patties. They have like a mini version of this where they use 3.5-ounce patties. So you can get a 3.5-ounce double for 10 bucks or $10.99. That's a completely reasonable, if not cheaper than most places. Most places around Chicago doing smash burgers, and they'll sell them for like closer to 15 bucks. So getting one at like 11 bucks is, I think, pretty awesome. You don't need to get the one this big. You do need to go there. It's amazing. And this whole strip in Roscoe Village, really cool. If you're not from here, there's a really cool, I did a vlog of this neighborhood. I didn't go to the Region. I actually went to another one of my favorite burgers, which happens to be right down the street at Bitter Pop. And they also have the Rat Hole, which was like got really legendary for a while. There's some really, really cool bar that I love in this area that I covered in that vlog. It's really like vibrant, busy, like mom and pop shops. You can walk up and down here. What a day of feasting we've got. I mean, God, the size of this thing. It's so much burger. I mean, it's a normal size bun. They're not using King's Hawaiian mini buns. Look how much that sticks out. My God. Well, guys, I hope you guys love this. 2 more sets of this series coming. I ended up writing down all my iconic Chicago foods, and there was just way too many to squeeze into one video. Either way, there's a bunch more coming. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I love giving the fun facts. I love giving the history to these spots. And I think Chicago is such a great food city. I'm happy to showcase it. I will see you guys very soon with the next few volumes of this. Also, just to get on your radar, I've got my next day trip plan. I'm going to Denver. Same thing as last time. Flying into Denver and out of Denver in the same day with my wife, doing a full city tour, dumping tons of research into it, figuring out the coolest places you can go in like a 9-hour period. And our flights were only 115 bucks round trip. It's crazy that you can do that. I guess that's the beauty of living in a hub like Chicago. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace. That's that guy down at the end of the bar. That's what he said. The guy who came up and said he hadn't seen you in 10 years. He was like, I just landed in O'Hare and came right here. I was like, oh, that's so funny. He said he'd been coming here since he was 1.
George Wentz, brother.
No, really?
Yeah, I know him very well.